Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
Alright, I think let's jump into it. It's just you and me today. We had this report created for ISD employee data and we are using the ISD SafePoint group with it. If I look at the web services for it, it's simple XML. Let's open it in the new tab. Integration user was. Alright, let's create a new integration user. Start working. Let's create a new integration user. Create integration system user. Let's create a new integration user. Apply this user to the security group. Let's try this. Now we're able to see that we are able to access the Workday integration via integration user. The access is working. Now what I would like to do is, let's make a report of this copy. I would like to find an existing integration which has CLR enabled or CAR included in it. Let's look at one of the integration business process permission. This is a Workday account. ISS is currency, but it does not have a studio integration attached to it. Check these out. This is an EA-based. This one. It's also an E. This is also EB. This is also EB. This is also ETPAS. All EABs I am looking for. Let's check these out. System ID. This is REST endpoint. It's picking up the information from here. Alright. This one has a Cloud Studio project. As you can see here. Except for creating a brand new one. The integration template is Cloud Integration Templates. Anything that's related to cloud. And it has a Cloud Studio project attachment to it. It has integration services for attributes. And the integration template is Cloud Integration Broker. It has a connector ID. Where does it need to start and the attributes is the API key for your currency conversion rates import that is provided by the vendor. Let's look at the Studio configuration for this or Studio as to how it was developed in Studio. Let's download this CLAR file. There it is. Studio is a software provided by Workday to develop your complex integrations. You can download it from your community account. And it is available to you. Free of cost. You don't have to pay anything if you have access to Workday community. You can download the Studio from there. I do not have access. I will not be able to. But let me show you as to how we can use a Studio integration for our purposes. Currently, I'm going to import this CLAR. Let's click here on this button on the top. Imports are from Workday contributed solution or the file system. Import. I go to Browse. I will go to Downloads. And this is the one that we imported today. It will ask us what we're trying to import. Currency load by date. And let's go ahead and finish this. Here in the Project Explorer, you will be able to see all the related items available in your Studio. Your library, your assembly, your runtime, your source and everything would be here available. In order to start this, we'll go to Assembly, right-click on it, and we'll say Open. On your outline, you will see the overall picture of your development here what has been developed, what is the logic that has been deployed, and everything else right here. I'm going to minimize rest of the windows. We have a better view on it. Basically, it starts from here. When you create your studio, integration always starts from start here. It's a very nice GUI interface where you can set up your configurations. You can put evaluate expressions. And if I go here, double click on this, go back to design, and let's go to properties. And here we can see the expression, the evaluate expression, or the eval that we create in the Workday GUI interface. You create it here in the coding language. For this one needs to have good experience with JSON and XML and XSLT. You do create props like an API key. The prop has been created as of date get symbol later. The string is 10 characters. Step ID is eval, default is mobile. Then the next step. After the arrow, you can see the values here begin attribute. As of date, props and end attributes. Then next step is the XML file. Write the XML of currency pairs. This is basically loading the data and attributes for the currency XML file. Starting file. Then it says split the currency pairs and pass to the AP. I sending all pairs at once. That was failing or too large. Then you have the split row. You can define your controls here. Then you apply the strategy. What is the strategy for this? And of course you can see it in this way, or you can see it in your JSON command line as well. If you are proficient with JSON and XML and XLT, you can write your codes here directly. Or it gives you a decent UI interface to manage your codes as well. The task was split rows, then the strategy was applied. And then this subroutine was initiated to construct the API. Then in the construct API, can you show me that source of split? This one, we need not write right. Automatically, it has come once I create a studio. If you start creating studio, like on the GUI interface, all the codes will be built behind it. After that, any small modifications I can do here. Or you can do it on the GUI as well. With experience, as you start using the studio, you are able to make more changes to it. You can have multiple swim lanes. You can crisscross integration, pull the data, make changes, push the data back into Workday, push it to your vendor, bring it back and on. Whatever you would like to do in your customized integration, you have absolute control based on the security you have on the integration. You have control over everything that you want to or can do here. If I look at the API URL, the data is picking up from the global currencies. Signaticum, creating a log as well. Then PIUL. Then, now this is the web service for loading it into Workday. The currency service. Currency service, a PIUL. Then, after this, you have your API output. Then you have your MVL. If it's success, put this output not success. Put this output subroutines for success and your integration messages. Then you have your XLT for your transformation. It's in the WAR information. Let's open our XSLT here. I'll go into Properties, our source. Good Properties. Where is it loaded? It's loaded here. If I open my SLT, the transformation, this is XLT template being used. In your envelope, you import your data, calculate inverse rate XL for each rate. This is the process it should follow. As of date currency ID and on. Whatever commands you would like to do in your XSLT transformation, you can add it here. How did you open that? I went to the KSLT like looking here. I look at the source where it is stored. File, it's a murinf. If I go to view SRInf, go to properties and then open the folder from here. But it's going to be under user workspace. You're ready. When you create your Workday account, you create a workspace. When you create a studio application, you create a workspace under your user profile. In workspace currency, load by date WSRinfo, and if I click on this, I'll find the folder right here. User currency, load the project that you are working on and then the workspace. And in the workspace, you have all your related XML documents in your XLT. Then again, you have the log for your log file, message, content, default value, 0 and on, and then work this out. It's going to use the web services for financial management version 30. And it's going to apply into Workday using the financial management web services available in Workday. This works like this, but in order to connect it to your Workday environment, you have to set it up with Workday with your current instance. Project, properties, server, and let's say I'm going to sandbox. It's not. Let me add here. But basically what we need to do is when we go to server should be in server. Project natures. Let me check one more place. Windows preferences, Workday server. I don't think we have permissions to set up our server here, but in server no profiles, registered runtime environment. See if we can add here server runtime created now. I don't think we have permissions in this system to set up our connection with Workday. Basically, what you do is you get the web services link or your Workday. It's going to be TIF implementation Workday Congimis 2. This is going to be a link for your studio. When you go to connections, let's good, we're able to add. Let's call it in group. Let's call it location. It's going to be sandbox. It is 0CCX. And we are going to use our IC cell point 4. I'm going to test it. And this is going to be in the environment T5. I'll select the environment from here. It's going to be U2 implementation. We have sandbox preview, sandbox production. And this is basically the weight, are the region names where your server is deployed. Is it in Asia? Is it Middle East, Europe? Which of the server farms that you are connecting into? The T5 VIF implementation Workday come. Iterate, let's apply and close. Let's go back here, preferences. Let's go to connection sandbox and we should be able to test the connection. Most probably this connection is not allowed. Failed to authenticate because the user is not provisioned for integration. Access into Workday because this environment is quite limited. We don't have much extended access into the tenant on this system. That's why we are not able to authenticate. But basically what you do is you set up your user with a username, password with your environment and your connections. Apply and close. And then once you have made your changes in your integrations that you are with it, you can deploy your project into Workday. Project build run. You can run this and from Workday. You see this deploy to Workday. Once you set up your connection, you can create your entire chart, your studio project. And then once you would like to test it into, say, your sandbox environment or your implementation environment, you can go to your Workday and deploy to Workday based on the connection settings that you have done. And all your available resources for your integration are available here. All your actions or commands that you would like to put into your or pull into your integrations. You have all the shortcuts available here for validation, for messaging, logging transformation, error handling workspace. It's a pretty nifty tool by Workday, but it does require some user experience in order to use it effectively. There is a very specific training provided by Cloud Foundation using the Studio as your configuration and development tool. But this is for advanced level integration developers. And of course, it requires background into coding the JSON XML, XLT, and on. Also, we don't have access to community here, but you have available contributed solutions from other users in Workday community where you can browse, like from here. Look at the contributed solution catalogs. Let me see if I can show you. If you see here, this is your community page at Workday, community and contributed solution. Here you can see many of the contributed solutions by either Workday itself or other users in the community who are putting in their developed solutions within the community. And you can use it. You can import it into your environment, into your studio, and then you can make edits, make changes, and use it to your benefit if you want to use any of the existing available studio projects. Otherwise, you can create your own. Here you can see all the package names, like say Payment Intercept. It's made by Accenture, or let's say it takes it to the Accenture website. Let's see. This is how you can download and install Studio from community into your system. There are all the Workday data centers. Let me just catalog. What if I have Workday? We'll get this. This is how or where you can download and install your Workday Studio. And of course, you would need either the JDK or the OpenJDK to work with it. And these are all the data centers. WD1 is the US region, E3 is the EU region, UD5 is again the US region. This is a central region. Different tenant, whichever you are using, would have a different region associated to it. And these are all the data centers globally in Workday that they have set up. The production tenants, the URLs for them, the non-production center and change log. Let me see where I can find the contributed solutions. The concept clarifies to the integration services integration design. Then the Hello Cloud sample. That's what we are trying to find. Alright. Let's say we are trying to get a Cloud Connect for Core HCM. Comma. We have, let's say, now to connect for benefits. Let's have a look at that as well. This is not what we are looking for. This is basically a question somebody posted for a true-false condition. They were having issues with the prompt aid, and a lot of people are out there in the community who would respond back, help you out. And you as a contributor as well, because you would have access to community. You can also contribute with your solutions and with your responses as well. Recently, I think the interface has changed, but you are able to find your contribute. There's a section here for contributed solutions. I include custom reports, added job, added more, and this is a group post contribute solution for Workday Learning. Symbolize. Alright, let's try this. This person has solution. Get worker.pr file. See if we can import this. I can't do that. It's on a different browser. But let's see, can we import? Or I don't think we have that option. We cannot. I don't have access on this system because this is on my local machine. You can get a lot of help and solutions for the contributed solutions in different areas from members of the community and Workday. As their community for storage of contributed solutions, where a lot of people would contribute and a lot of sample CLR files or connectors or for your studio integrations are available within the community as well. It should be in Connect. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into it. I'll come back to it, probably in the later session. Generally, this is how you use your studio. This is for the currency load, and below this, I believe there is a global error handler in a different lane. Nora. It's a put integration message. Can I run this here even before deploying to Workday and check how it is behaving and all? I believe you can. But then you need to have the source data. But generally you can simulate it here, but in order to run it you need to deploy it into Workday and run it from the Workday environment. You can test a few things, simulate a few things here, but not run it fully. In order to run it, you need to deploy it into Workday and then run it from there. Because that is your environment. This is not your Workday environment. This is your dev environment. Why there are two inputs like currency service and then API output. You see the right, APU or a construct API. There is a currency service on the right and there is another arrow for API output, which means it is coming inside and then again output. This is the API URL.text and this is for getting. HTTP method is get. It is trying to get the data from here, from the ASO. When you are asking for the API URL, this is where it is sending out. It gets the data. There are two arrows which are going out. But I'm not sure that this is exactly working currently. Let's have a look at it. The integration that we were looking for was this one. Let's look at the integration events. Let's see, even this is a fully functional integration. There's a possibility that it was just created and never used. The currency load integration event created from Google and it failed. This is not properly tested as yet. Whenever it was run, like you can see the date, it failed the integration. Bad request title and the integration event. Let's have a look. This integration is not tested. As a sample, this is good for understanding as to how an integration may work. But this is not a fully tested solution. There are errors in this integration. As of now, let's try to see if we can find another integration which has. This is the one that we were looking at. Download this. This is the EB. Let's see if we can find any studio integrations. Integration tag. and provisioning. Our template was Cloud Integration Template. Sample BI report for import. Let's have a look at this. The BI file for import of a non-UD requested request attachment to be uploaded. This file is created by running view account register for a given account and month and export and save as a CSV file in the BI format. Let's try to see what this is. Let's close this. By new project. Assembly. We have our CFIG. And now I can go ahead and import the Sila art. It's created a new project by itself. And let's go to assembly. We can see it's built in a little different format. It's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 swim links. Start it. Eval interest and bank fee, then interest in non-decimal. And bank fee decimal, then log, then it's going to route one strategy. First is an envelope. It is a kind of a statement. File exists, then do that. Or if no file, then no file message. Terminal is a little different, like mval. Multiple eval would be mval, I believe. Say source. It's a little different. And then if you go to message builder, the board restored. Anybody using this studio, integrations now? Or nobody is using this? Generally, these studio integrations are used by advanced Workday developers that are probably working with consulting firms. Like Deloitte. Deloitte Consultant when you outsource a project. When it's beyond the tools available within Workday, the integration templates, cloud connection, Workday has made things very easy with the Cloud Connect, with the integrations, with the connectors that they have provided, with the templates that they have provided. Anything that cannot be done in-house or the capability does not exist in terms of the delivered solution within the GUI. Then you reach out to your implementation partners or developers such as Deloitte, such as other companies. And generally, that is where they use these studio integrations. Set up and run them. Configure them, set them up and run them. Very few deployments of Workday itself use the studio as in house the capability. Because there are not many, I would say there's not a plethora of users who build and develop on Workday Studio. Alright, please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.